Hey guys, 8 here. This video is about aperture. When shooting videos and photos, you've most likely come across aperture. So what is aperture, and most importantly, how does it affect your photos and videos? Aperture is the opening on the lens diaphragm through which light passes. Depending on what kind of lens you have, you usually have a range where the largest aperture, equivalent to the lowest f-stop number, will be at the widest zoom angle of your lens, and the lowest aperture at the most telephoto focal length that the lens has to offer. Aperture is measured in f-stops. An f-stop is equal to the focal length divided by the aperture diameter, which is also known as the lens speed. This is because the lens can achieve the same exposure at a higher shutter speed because of the larger aperture opening. So how does aperture affect your photos and videos? Well, besides having a directly proportionate relationship to exposure, aperture affects another variable called depth of field or focus range. This is that silky smooth blur effect you get of the background with the subject in focus, mostly found in professional compositions. To put it simply, a large aperture, which is equal to a small f number, is equal to a shallow depth of field. And a small aperture, which is equal to a large f number, is equal to a deeper depth of field. The distance also affects the depth of field in that you get shallower depth of field the closer the subject is to the camera. To demonstrate, here are two pictures. The first one is shot at f1.7, focal length is kept constant, and in the second picture, aperture is at f16. Note that the distance to the subject was kept the same as well. Notice how the depth of field is so much more shallow at f1.7 than at f16. So much so that I couldn't even get the entire subject in full focus. As you'd expect, these principles affect video in the exact same way. In my previous video about ISO, we talked about the exposure triangle. Aperture is the second control that you can use to change your exposure. And unlike ISO, it doesn't yield any significant drawbacks like noise. The only thing you should worry about when opening up your aperture is that you might not want a very high aperture, let's say larger than f1.7, because the depth of field is so shallow that you'll most likely have a hard time getting your subject fully in focus. Don't forget to leave a like if this video was useful to you, and if it wasn't, you know what to do. Most importantly guys, leave a comment and hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one.